Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching This Show, your new favorite pop culture YouTube channel where we talk about movies, TV, music, and more. As always, this is a spoiler show, so you have been warned. On today's episode, we're going to have probably a pretty condensed conversation about the first 3 episodes of the new Apple TV Plus show, the Afterparty.
This is a murder.
So we saw trailers for this and we were drawn in by the creative team and the actors involved in it. And we were initially talking about covering it episodically, and I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to check in now and then maybe again at the end.
Okay.
We'll let you know. We watched the first 3 episodes because they're what dropped.
Yep.
What are you thinking? How are you feeling?
I like it.
Are you? Or
I like it way more than the rest of you.
Mhm.
I think it's super funny. I think maybe it's just like my exact sensibilities, but also I love Ben Schwartz. I love Sam Richardson. I think Tiffany Haddish is amazing. I'm just like, I love all the people in this. Also, I just realized that Quiet Heather, who's having the affair with their like bio teacher or whatever, her name is Miracle Laurie, and she was on the show Dollhouse. And she was like my favorite part of that show, Dollhouse. And so I am just like, I'm here for all of it. And also, what did we decide her name was from The Good Place? What was her name on The Good Place? It wasn't Denise,
Karen?
but I keep wanting to say no, because she looks like Karen David, but her name is Tia Sarkar. Anyway, she's
Vicky.
Yeah, that's right, Vicky. She's in this too.
She's really funny.
And I'm just like, everything about it, I'm having such a good time with. And also the fact that every episode is a different genre, I think is really interesting.
So I like how much you're into it.
Okay.
I'm definitely not disliking it. The issue I'm having with it is I'm finding it very light. I feel humor in a lot of the bits, a lot of the jokes and stuff, but there's really only there's only 2, maybe 3 laughs for me per episode, which isn't terrible. I mean, that's decent sitcom.
Yeah.
But this isn't quite a sitcom. So the premise is it's a high school reunion.
15 years.
15-year high school reunion, and there is a after party after the reunion, and a group of people, not everybody, but a group of people are at this after party. It's thrown by Dave Franco as Xavier or Xavier.
And then they answered the question in like episode 2 because someone asks Dave Franco. And
well, you were like, I need them to start.
To pick one, because half of them are saying Xavier and half of them are saying Xavier. And I was like, I need them to come together on this. And then at one point, Dave Franco's character is like, it's whatever you feel like. And I was like, okay, so he just can't decide.
And so that right there, that's funnier to me now than it was when it happened. So this also could be one of those properties that
I think it's going to build.
Grows, that gives. So anyways, they're at this after party and Xavier is presumably murdered.
Yeah.
They bring in Tiffany Haddish and John Early as well. They don't bring them in. Tiffany Haddish like intercepts it.
Yeah. So they are there. They're like close by. So they're the like responding detectives. And we like are introduced to her in a phone call with her captain saying, absolutely don't do this. We're bringing in someone, I think from the FBI. They're bringing in a detective from the FBI. And she's like, sure, whatever. And so her and John Early just keep going anyway.
They come in and literally they're like, we're in charge here.
Yeah.
And so it's
amazing.
There's so many elements happening. And so basically the conceit of the show is she's interviewing the people, the suspects, what have you, and they tell their version of the events of the night. And the catch is that each one of them is a different genre of movie or storytelling.
I like that part of it.
I like it a lot too, but that's so for me, that's where my disconnect is because it's high concept and I'm finding versus doing one or the other, I'm finding that the show is sort of splitting the difference and kind of doing half good at both things. So it's like some of these things I think can hold their, like, because you said you like Ben Schwartz a lot, so you might have a different opinion, but his episode for me was the weakest because I found the gimmick not as
disagree.
I thought that might be.
Hard disagree. Oh my God. First of all, his name is Jasper, which tickles me to no end.
I didn't say it was bad. I said it was working less for me.
No, I don't know. I liked it a lot, especially because for me, the Ike Barinholtz episode didn't work as well.
I like his stuff with Dave Franco.
Okay, yes, that stuff was amazing, but
like my eyes glazed over during the Fast and the Furious parts.
Okay, but those two scenes with him and Dave Franco, those were exceptional.
And all the him doing the family monologuing and stuff. It was very funny. And that's ultimately the meat and potatoes of this conversation in the show is, even though I'm only just okay or just enjoying it, by the end of the third episode, I am properly hooked.
Yeah.
I
need to know how he died.
How he died, who killed him, if that is in fact the case, what is going on with Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
What is going on? I mean, I am genuinely invested in this budding romance with Anik and is it Zoe?
Yeah.
I am kind of obsessed with the Jennifers.
Jennifer 1 and Jennifer 2.
And that's what that we ended on that note is we can't find Jennifer 2. So we don't know whether she's a suspect or another victim or merely a misdirect.
I suspect she's actually just like in labor somewhere because both Jennifers are pregnant.
And so there's enough little moments. And I am getting a lot of mileage out of seeing the same scenes from the different perspectives.
So that's, I think, the part that's my favorite is because we are also getting different actual interpretations of what happened. So things that we see in one episode, we then see from a different perspective, and it's totally different. And that's the kind of shit that I love about like whodunits like this.
It is very interesting, and furthermore, the show did a very good job of even because I did not know the genre gimmick.
Me neither, not till we started.
And the show introduces to that gimmick to us in a very interesting way with the character of Indigo, where in the first episode, she's kind of my favorite. Her name
is Genevieve Angelson, and she's amazing.
But it's like, she's sort of like an appetizer. Like we get her story first and it's very condensed. It's like 5 minutes, but it's like really art noir, like
very funny.
And so that's when you sort of you're like, oh, I think this is going to be different because Anik's is a rom-com.
Yep.
And then
Ike Barinholtz is Brett, and his is like an action movie. And then Jasper is a musical. I loved it.
Did Xavier actually text him that message?
That I don't know.
It doesn't feel like he did. But whoever did knew that file was there.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It's like, so it's like part of me wants to be like, this isn't working for me. But now I'm like, damn it. It's not working for me.
Yeah. Forget the other work that we have to do. Let's just go back out there and watch whodunits for the rest of the night.
Well, after this, we're going to watch The Woman in the House.
Yeah. Across the street from The Woman in the Window. Also, any Fleabag fans or Eurovision fans, Jamie Demetriou is in this. And his name is Walt, and he is super weird and creepy.
That's what I thought when they realized the Jennifer was missing. I thought they were going to realize he had the handwriting. Because Anik didn't even, when he wrote the I have diarrhea, Anik didn't even look at it.
Oh.
They was kind of like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, I don't think that means he's the killer. I think he's the one that did
it on the neck.
Yeah.
Because all he wants is to be included and for someone to remember him. And he's just wearing head to toe beige. That's like the exact same color as his skin.
But even so, because they're trying to do a handwriting sample.
Yeah.
And when Anik passed out, someone wrote, I have diarrhea on his neck. So the phrase that needs to be written has the word diarrhea in it. And why that's funny is because nobody knows how to spell that word. Because the second they said it, I thought,
no.
I was like, there's an H, but I couldn't tell you where in that word it is.
I think it's a double R.
Is it?
I think it's a double R. I don't know.
So
I only ever say the word diarrhea. I don't ever type it or write it. So that's the stuff for me, because there's a lot of really tiny moments. And like, that's one of them where it obviously becomes bigger, but it's like the first moment that they say, I have to get everyone to write the word diarrhea. that moment to me is so funny. And so there's a lot of other little moments like that don't get bigger, that are just tiny moments. And it's those tiny moments of comedy.
Well,
for me.
yeah, I agree. And I was going to say, I want to stress, it's not that I'm finding it bad.
Yeah.
It's just a little on the weak side for me. I think it needs to be punched up. But again, I think it could continue to, because even though like the gimmick of Jasper's episode, I was the least invested in, I am the most invested in the story.
Yeah.
The further into it we get.
I think Ben Schwartz and Sam Richardson have really fun chemistry because they are now trying to solve this mystery together, because Anik thinks the cops think it's him.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like trying to prove himself innocent, essentially.
I like Alana Glazer a whole lot. She's working the least for me.
So her episode is next.
Uh-huh.
And I think it might help.
Okay.
She was trying to get revenge on Xavier for something. And I think that's, or revenge on someone for something. I think it's Xavier. And I also think she had like roofies or something in her flask.
With the big X on it?
Yeah.
When he went, you don't go into a woman's purse. And when he was just like, I was like, it was weird. There is a particularly funny scene with Ike Barinholtz and Dave Franco in the bathroom. And then
it sort of continues on the
they're
balcony,
peeing in the bathroom. It is so funny. The language they are using.
It's very sexual.
But also it's like car, because it's like when he has to go to the bathroom, he's like, I got to go drain the tank or something. And I was like, that's not even how gas works. Like, and then Dave Franco to be like, I still got half a tank left. It's like, like it's so weird. That for me was the high point.
It was very funny.
It was so funny. I mean, we all know how I feel about Ike Barinholtz and homoerotic situations, but.
And Dave Franco is a short king.
He's wearing a purple suit with no shirt underneath. And there's a scene.
And he's got the like white blonde hair.
There's a scene, because I was having fun. The Hungry Hippos is fine. I think they're a little bit overplaying the hand, but there was a ticker at the bottom. What are they called?
A ticker.
Okay.
Like a Chiron. It's not really a Chiron, but it's
a ticker at the bottom where they were talking about songs of his. And I don't remember the first one. It was good. And the second one was X marks the G spot. And so that kind of stuff is really funny.
And then we hear snippets of X marks the G spot the entire run of the show so far.
There was also, so I started to say there was a scene because he's wearing this jacket with no shirt underneath. And there's a scene where he like grabs just like a handful of like tit. And I really liked that part. More of that. So
more tit grabbing by James Franco.
So yeah, I'm giving it a gentle recommend, a gentle thumbs up, and certainly if we're gonna watch it. We're gonna see. So this was sort of we kind of love Apple TV Plus, even though we don't watch everything, and I feel like it's just a little bit falling under the radar. So I usually like to try and shine some light on their content.
I love all these people. It's also it was like created by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who we also like a lot. They've done a lot of good stuff, and so I just sort of want this to be a success because I want all these people to keep working. So let's do it.
So, okay, well, that was our short little conversation recap review of the first 3 episodes of the Afterparty. Let us know if you're enjoying it or watching it, and if you want us to talk about it, because I think it's weekly from here on out. So we could. Yeah. We really could, but...
let us know. We might do it. You can follow us on Twitter, @soimwatching, or Instagram, @soimwatchingtheshow. We also have a website, soimwatching.com, which links out to everything. And we have a bunch of also links if you'd like to donate some money to us and our cause so that
we can have after parties.
Keep doing this.
After the after party.
Yeah. Other than that, just like and subscribe.
Woo.
Bye.